G'day guys, in this video I'll be covering various different types of lighting and what lighting equipment you need to buy specifically for film and video production. We will also be covering different lighting styles and what situations you would need to use these specific lighting techniques to achieve the best results. In the film and video lighting world, there are a few different types of lighting. There is fluorescent, LED, tungsten halogen lights, and HMI lights. I'll quickly run over the differences between these types of lights so you as a filmmaker can make an informed decision to purchase a certain type of light and not just listen to me telling you which one to buy. First light is the fluoro or fluorescent light. This is a light you commonly see everywhere, more so in office or corporate situations. I always cringe walking into a room full of fluoros because you just know that they're seeping off a green tinge and they tend to flicker. And they're just not very flattering overhead. In my opinion, you should avoid these types of lights for film and video production. You can, however, purchase fluoro lights specifically designed for use in film and TV. For me personally, I'm still not a fan of these types of lights, especially for the price. A real trend at the moment are lights that replicate the shape of a fluoro but are actually an LED light inside, giving them great flexibility with color rendition and RGB variations. Next type of light is the tungsten halogen. These lights use incandescent filament bulbs, meaning each bulb has pressurized halogen gas inside of them. Halogen lights can be really bright and can go up to 200 kilowatts, producing near perfection color rendition. The only downside to these lights is they are generally pretty bulky in size, heavy, and they suck through the power consumption, and they get really hot only after 10 to 15 minutes of use. Next type of light is the HMI light. These lamps are capable of between 85 and 108 lumens per watt, which is super bright. They emit a color temperature of 6,000 Kelvin to replicate the color of the sun, and most often are used to combat the sun or replicate the sun. That's why they are such a powerful light source. These lights are normally really bulky and really power hungry. HMI bulbs will also explode if you drop them and release toxic chemicals.
No paterno tonight about... Woo. Goodness, that's what happened. Ow! We just lost a light here.
Should stop.
I didn't realize. Oh, what was that?
So probably not the best option to choose unless you are shooting on a large film set. Last type of light is the LED, which we have all grown to know and love. These are the most popular choice among filmmakers and production companies. These are also the most efficient when it comes to power and can be powered with batteries for hours at a time, making them really convenient for shooting on location. These lights also render a pure light without UV artifacts and can also come in bicolor variations and are dimmable. Now that we know all the different types of lighting available, there are a few more things to take into consideration when deciding on what lights are best for your film and video production. The first thing is the size, weight, and portability. If you're like me, you don't always work with a giant crew and you want some lights that are easy to carry, portable, and don't take up too much space in your kit. You also want a light that's durable and can withstand a few bumps. Number 2 is power options. Are the lights able to be powered by batteries, or are you limited to finding a power outlet and having to run extension cords, which can be really inconvenient? Also take into consideration how long the light can be powered by a battery. You will find this information in the specs and it's vital. You don't want to be changing batteries constantly. Number 3 is the quality of the light. Not all lights are created equal. Lights are rated with a CRI measurement, which means color rendering index, and it's rated on a scale of 0 to 100. 100 indicating the colors under the light source appear the same as they would under natural sunlight, which would mean the light is rendering the most accurate and natural colors. So you want at least a CRI of 95% to ensure you're getting the best natural looking colors from your lights. Number 4 is output. This means how powerful the light is and is generally measured in lumens, lux, or watts. Now this is something really important to take note of. Different companies will use different measurements when referring to their output of their lights. Here's a quick overview. Lumens measure the total amount of light output, lux measures the light intensity, and watt is a unit of measure for power consumption. Because watts isn't the most accurate way to measure how bright a light is, it's better to look for the lumens or the lux when purchasing a light. Now try and stay with me on this one because it's good to get your head around. Lux is used to measure the amount of light output in a given area. So 1 lux is equal to 1 lumen per square meter. Using lux as a measurement enables us to measure the total amount of visible light present and the intensity of the illumination on the surface. So what that basically means is the more lumens and lux, the brighter the light will be. If you look in the specs, you'll normally see a lux value at a certain distance. This means that the further you get away from the light, obviously the less brighter the light will be. And number 5 is lighting attachments or modifiers. These are key when buying a light. You want a light that you can modify in many different ways to suit what you are shooting. If you are shooting an interview, using a softbox or lantern is a great way to get a flattering soft roll-off on your subjects. You also want the ability to use something like a Fresnel attachment. Fresnel? Fresnel? Some lights also come with built-in effects to replicate fire or lightning, which is an added bonus. There are a bunch of other things to take into consideration when buying lights, including cost, bicolor, dimmability, but to me, the ones that I've mentioned are the most important. The light I ended up purchasing was the Aperture 300D Mark II. This ticks all the boxes for our production company and also looks impressive on set. It also has the flexibility to run on batteries or cabled power, which is really nice. And that about wraps it up. I hope you guys now understand lighting a little bit more and this has helped you in your search for your next lighting kit.